is the end of side 1 of this record. Please now, turn it over for the second side. The second side.
All right, hey, how are you all? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hey, how you doing? I am Mel. I'm here with another occult reaction video. Okay, let's decode the knowledge of this Kundalini energy. Okay, yeah, let's just jump in.
What I'm dealing with right now is one way to raise the Kundalini energy inside of you. You even hear Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness. Well, if the serpent is evil, why the hell is Moses lifting up the serpent in the wilderness?
And that's another thing. That's another thing right there. This stuff some of the stuff in the Bible is just symbolism, okay? Symbolism with the snake is like transformation. It's like deep knowledge. It's very mysterious. It's very hidden, and also can be kind of sudden. That's why when the snake came to the garden, or was in the Garden of Eden, like it was so tempting, it was so bad, because they didn't want you to know this knowledge, occult science, or spirituality in general. They didn't want you to know your true power, your true your true nature. But you know, over time things reveal itself. So if you're using snake symbolism without this Bible, like when I think was it Moses? Moses is another dude, and somebody had a snake, but he put his cane down, and it was a bigger snake, ate that snake type thing. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, why are you still using this symbolism if that's a bad thing? You feel me? Why are you doing it in this kingdom, you know, or whatever, in this section of the Bible? So sometimes we have to question ourselves, like, what's so bad about the Kundalini energy? What's so bad about knowledge? What's so bad about it's the person that handles the knowledge? It's the person that uses and wields the magic or the wisdom that is given to them. It always comes down to the self. It's never like, oh, the knowledge is bad. I mean, like I say, it's the way you use it. Like, you can use it for protection. You can use it for advancement. You can use it for more knowledge. You know, it depends on what it is. But Kundalini energy is more so you igniting your personal energy, personal power.
That's cold. Huh? That's cold. Yeah, but I'm saying it's also, if you deal with the Kundalini energy, the spiritual energy, the serpentine fire, that's what he's talking about. Now, the Kundalini can be stirred up by some fully awakened by any of the stirred up and fully awakened by any of the following methods. I'm still on the sex thing and still on some stuff, but I'm trying to show you what we're dealing with here is straight up science. Now y'all just bear with me. The total concentration of the absorption of the mind in its source brought on by intense study and research. These are 10 different ways you can raise this thing. One is by intense study and research. That's why a lot of sisters now are turned on by a brother who got a lot of knowledge. They say, well, goddamn, stimulate me intellectually.
Right. Sapiosexual.
Then you have some sisters, they be going up in consciousness and in the brother. When your sister start going up in the consciousness, it's time for you to start getting with it too.
Fact.
Because sooner or later, she going to be leaving your ass. When you going one way, you see what I'm saying? Now, it ain't happen both ways. I got it up and down the East Coast. I have conscious brother come up and say, man, I'm into this shit, but my wife, she just ain't into this shit. I don't know what to do. It's really lonely and all this kind of shit here. And one girl, every time they played my tape, she'd run in the other room and shit. Thought she'd going to hell.
Damn.
I said, my tapes are a bit extreme. I can't see why a motherfucker will think that they're going to damn hell and stuff. I'm up in here cursing it. You know, I'm just talking about not for you. I'm talking about for dead folks.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's a clear sign though. If your partner or if your friends or if your family are running away from this information, it's just because they're not ready for the information. And even if you can get spooked out by some of the information or some of the discoveries that you find in your studies, occult studies or spirituality studies or whatever, however you want to put it, conscious studies, it could mean that you're not ready, but it also can mean that you have to fight through that fear, because it's something on the other side of that that's going to help you and break you free from whatever fear is instilled. Because you got to understand, when we was in slavery, you know, fear and trauma was a way of control. So for you to surpass this, to become more conscious or gain control over your reality, pop out of the matrix, you know, be powerful in your own right, you're going to have to get through that fear. And it's hard Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's through conditioning, through religion. Sometimes it's through love and relationships. Sometimes it's through family dynamics. It's different for everybody. But once you pop that bubble, baby, it's up. And it's going to keep coming. And you woke and it's time to get through it.
Talking about Satan and all that kind of shit. You damn right. You go for the fall out of a damn holy sanctified church and she hear that shit. Might lock your ass up. Anyway, so my wife run in the room. Every time she hear your case, she run in the room. I say your damn name, she run in the room. Say, my family, you Satan. I said, well, I'll take that as a compliment. So, anyway, going back to this, that's why. But if the woman wants to start getting into consciousness, if she start getting into consciousness and you dead, sooner or later she gonna leave your ass.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Not necessarily talking about everybody up in here is supposed to be conscious, but the point I'm trying to make here is, that's why some sisters say will stimulate me intellectually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, on that particular level. I'm just using the woman as an example. So they say that one way to raise the Kundalini is intense study and research by absolute introversion and by some state of mental sequence compounded with the concentration of mental energy and magical symbol or sigil. So basically, they're just talking about focusing on a higher degree of knowledge. It can stimulate, or actually that raises this Kundalini energy too. Remember, the Kundalini energy is sexual energy.
Facts.
Drugs, the second one is drugs and alcohol. To worship me with strange wine and strange drugs, I will tell my prophet, be drunk thereof, and thou shalt not harm thee at all. So in one way, I don't know, that drug shit don't kind of gel with us as black people too good. So,
yeah, it don't.
You know what I'm saying? And all, you know,
it really
if
don't.
you ain't an alcoholic by nature and stuff, maybe you can dabble in a little bit of spirits and stuff. That's why they call it spirits. You see what I'm saying? So I guess, well, we'll trade off. Well, some marijuana for you people to, you know, to do that and all that. And you got some, you know, whatever thing, you know, however you want to do that, some mushrooms or whatever. So I'm just giving you the 10 ways.
For real, the mushrooms work for. They work.
Drugs and alcohol. Worship me
edibles
wine,
too, not gonna lie.
Wine and strange drugs. Thereof, my prophet will be drunk thereof, and thou shalt not harm thee. The other thing is shock. Shock. Or in intense surprise, grief, ecstasy, etc. A sudden release of the subconscious energy affects the Kundalini. So shock can do the shit. You see? Ask Carrie about that shit. Movie Carrie, when they throw that hog blood on her.
Cause you probably like, what the fuck?
What's that?
Those I know some Caucasian write books on sex tantra. Are those things that raise their Kundalini?
No. This is stuff. Period. See,
just period.
Yeah, this is stuff here. There's all types of different things and all.
In general.
Most of this stuff here is actually coming from the Hindu text. The Hindu text, because they used to do all of that in ancient world. You see what I'm saying? The drug thing, but like I said, sugar was a drug to the ancient Egyptians. They used to take sugar and get to another level. Alcohol certainly was one. We invented alcohol. You understand what I'm saying? It was certainly one. No, most of these are basically coming from basically the Hindu tantric thing by way of pre-dynastic Kemet. You know, ecstasy induced by music, mainly jazz, and rhythmic drumming and mantra. You see what I'm saying? So music can do it. You see, okay? Speed, which has a tendency to loosen the astral body, thus make it possible and will influx of cosmic energy and whirling dance and derivations of frenzy brought on by voodoo practitioners induced in similar condition in repeatedly cosmic influences that act directly upon the fire snake. So in so many words, speed, rhythmic dances, getting into a real rhythmic form of dancing or rhythm.
Oh, okay.
And you see the voodoo, the people in Haiti and all that type of stuff going into trance and all of that type of stuff. Or you see a motherfucker down in Alabama getting that goddamn Holy Ghost.
Basically, moving your body. Because remember, your body's full of water. It's full of energy. It's a conduit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to move that motherfucker. That's why you see people doing like yoga, or you see people like twerking. You see people like moving their hips. You feel me? Because you moving from the root chakra on up type thing. And sometimes you're just moving just to channel that energy. You feel me? Which is, it's just actually very beautiful if you are really in tune with that shit. Because even just doing that made me feel like, you know, I'm moving some stagnant energy around in my body, basically. That's why exercise is good. That's why walking around. That's why drinking plenty of water. That's why having certain nutritions in your diet. Veggies, fruit, you know, long as they like natural. Because, you know, some of them not that natural. But we know that already.
And that damn, that shit there, you know that shit. That stuff is all a part of that.
I am hollering.
Remember, everything that's going on is nothing but us taking a record of what our bodies used to do. And recording that record, and that's the stuff that you got now, that you look at.
Ooh, and it's a book that I keep seeing. It's called The Body Keeps the Count. So I that probably has some good techniques in there or something. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, but I keep seeing it, so I know for a fact. And I'm a person that clenches their jaws, especially when they sleep or like when they're in deep thought. So it's like I know for a fact that has some gems in it. I just haven't got it yet, or you know, move towards it, because I still have to read most of the books that I got now that I have not read. So it's like, let me do this first, and then I get that. Maybe, you know.
And as gospel, it's just our experiences. You see what I'm saying? Magically controlled sexual activity, in which the Kundalini is a immediate object. Oh, what's that? I gotta slow down. That's an inanimate object. God damn. This is a dangerous method that demands a high grade of initiation for the practitioner. That's for white people. Now that is for white people. You know, you see what I'm saying? Because, to answer your question, a lot of these things here, as far as some things, is that they have to be very careful, because the Kundalini energy inside of them is very dangerous, because of the simple fact that the ultimate filtering point is the pineal gland, because they have a calcified pineal gland. If they rush too much up there, it will just set them on fire and stuff, because they don't have the filtering point of the mechanism where this thing is filtered out. But believe me, I done raised every kind of Kundalini energy there is. And it don't hurt us at all, for the simple fact it is a natural phenomenon in us. Whereas with them, it's not a natural phenomenon, because their body is irregular.
Yeah, it ain't
they don't
natural.
have the capacity, so they'll burn up, you see. They will burn up. So sexual activity. So that's where I'm coming from with this sexual thing. Absolute compassion for all created things. This is the Buddhist formula par excellence, which leads to the highest Buddhist formula. And the highest Buddhist trance is also called samadhi, the state of the natural, permanent self-realization, and activated by activism. So they talk about this compassion thing also can do it also.
I believe that.
Ecstasy and personal rap.
I definitely feel like gratitude could too be because it's still a form of compassion, but I feel like it definitely tweaks something within the mind, which kind of like connects to that energy in an intuitive way.
Capture through,
if you get what I'm saying.
This is the point here, a contemplation of a supreme deity. So that means that you can take
on that energy.
When people, that's when I say this thing, when people say, well, Bobby, I know that Jesus exists because I have healed myself through Jesus. I've gotten on crack through Jesus. This is what they're talking about here. You can take an entity, which is an archetype, and there's an archetype inside of you of the collective unconsciousness. This is the scientific method on what's happening when people go into church.
What would be the deity, the energy that you would want to take on? Like, would it be Isis? Would it be Osiris? Would it be Jesus? What would it be? Mine would be Kali Ma, for sure. Hands down. Mine would be Kali Ma. I fuck with her energy heavy. So comment below and, let me know.
And they can believe so far into the deity, and that's not hard to deal with if that's the only thing you've ever known all your life is this Jesus figure.
Gotcha.
If you was in Asia, it might be Buddha.
Yeah.
If you was in the Middle East, it might be Muhammad. Or the monkey, you understand what I'm saying? Or if you was in Disneyland, it might be fucking Mickey Mouse. It doesn't matter. So what happens here is that the person taps believes so severe into that deity until it releases hormones of the archetype of the collective unconsciousness in them for healing, and in this case for the Kundalini raising. So some people do have spiritual experiences through the Jesus thing if they were black, only because they believed in it so much it created a reaction on the inside.
Because you got to understand, your belief system shifts your internal energy, which in turn comes out to your external, which develops your reality. So if you believe something with all your might and you place that on your heart, or you just embody that shit, you believe that shit's gonna happen. It does, and it does every day but we have the technique of doing it with bad shit or unhealthy shit. Okay, the more we put it into more of a positive light, more of a creative type of energy, then you'll see it turn for the better.
That's the mystery. That's why you can't tell black people that this shit is not real. They say, I know he's real.
Yeah. When it's really you that's real.
You understand? That's because they have been
and your power
to set off a certain response inwardly. You see what I'm saying? When they even hear his name, they got my.
Every reaction has a reaction, basically. Like reactions, I believe that's what it's called.
You say Jesus and they stop.
If I'm not mistaken.
They show this thing. But that's what you get that same shit in the damn movie with Frank Sinatra. What's the name of that movie? 1950 something. 1962. Frank Sinatra. It's a mind control movie.
Frank Sinatra.
Manchurian Candidate.
Oh.
They can say a code word and you go, you know what I'm saying? You'll be walking down the street 20 years from now and shit. And then 20 years later, they say a code. You pick up a phone and they go, the apple is on the gate. And you're going to kill up some people.
Yeah.
That's because they have programmed it in. So whenever you hear that, you have a response. That's through a hypnosis.
The name of the game is programming. If you are programmed to believe what you believe, if you're programmed to know the magic that you know or practice, if you are locked in with what you believe, can't nobody change that because you locked in. And if you are aware of these tactics, brainwashing tactics, this programming tactic that from the opposition, it won't have that much of an effect on you. You'll just know, oh wait, whoa, wait a minute, that don't even sound right. That ain't transmitting to me good. It's making me feel funny. So therefore, you already know something funny going on.
What's this method? Right? Well, they can do the same thing with Jesus. You know it's real because it has worked its way into your subconscious collective unconsciousness. You see what I'm saying? Same thing happened with my aunt. She had a dream of the collective unconsciousness. She had real chronic arthritis. She was young. She was in her late 30s and 40s when she's having this shit. And she just had a dream in her late 40s or early 50s. She had a dream. And the dream wasn't about nothing spiritual, but about some water or some other place. She saw a person in the dream. And when she woke up, she was cured. But by her ass being from Mullen, South Carolina, although she was up in D.C. teaching school, but the only way of anything spirit that ever came was Ebenezer AME Church.
A-M-E.
The first thing she gonna think is Jesus.
Yeah.
You get where I'm coming from here? So here, they say that you can even worship a deity to a certain level. What's that, sister?
Can you raise the Kundalini energy in the dream state? Because
Yeah.
I think about servants.
I think they're gonna talk about. I think that's one of the actual things. I think that's one of the religious enthusiasm induced by a total devotion to the absolute conceived under a personal deity, and resulting to the obsession leads to a transcendent and the individual taps into cosmic energy. The devotee is caught up into heaven of his God. Another part here is violence. You see what I'm saying? Violence. Now, you might think this is white. That ain't white. I done said this shit here before. How many people have got into a fight? I talked about this before. How many people have ever been in a fight before? Raise your hand. I know if you niggas you've been in a fight before.
Plenty times.
Now, how many people have been in a fight? Now, how many people have gotten into a damn fight, and after the fight was over, somebody had to come tell you what went on, because you don't remember. Now, if you on the receiving end of that shit, you remember because you get your ass whipped. You wasn't mad enough. But I haven't gotten in a fight that was so damn mad until when I got there, they said, man, you was killing that nigga.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Killing that nigga.
And they had to tell me what was going on. That was a higher state of spirituality. On the flip side, I had gotten in a fight where I beat a motherfucker's shoe up with my face.
Say what?
And I remembered every bit of that fight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The flip side, I was getting my ass whipped.
Right.
And I remembered every bit of that fight.
And I had to get in that nigga.
But you see what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
I remember every bit of that fight.
Makes sense.
So, that's one. Another form is the dreams. That's what my aunt had. She had a part of the dreams. And as a result, she raised the Kundalini energy inside. Healing in the wings. Well, you see the Kundalini symbol in Kemet is what? Two serpents, a staff, and the caduceus. The staff and the caduceus and what? Wings. That's your medical symbol. You see what I'm saying? So the healing in the wings. So yes, a dream can do it. You see, dreams can do it. But I do know that the violence do it and stuff because I know going to that fucking metaphysical level through fighting. Because anger does it.
Yeah.
Anger does it. You see what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Some methods, in the Hindu thing to Christ, when he gets angry, that's when he really goes to a spiritual level. When Shiva gets angry, that's when all hell breaks loose.
And that's pretty much that's pretty much like a how can I say it? Initiation type of thing. It initiated that anger, initiated something within you, or that betrayal, or that struggle, or that just something that didn't sit right with you. Boy, that will ignite some shit within you. Whether you go down the route of transformation and elevation, Kundalini rising, or you go down a type of Kundalini rising or detrimental path that can harm others or yourself. Because like I said, this can be used both ways. It don't have to be used just one way. And then that's what I call free will. You know what I know as free will, because everybody has a lot of information at the palm of their hand, whether it's small or it's big. You can use that and build upon that, and even find other avenues to build more knowledge. It's all about the knowledge that you have and if you are applying it. Okay, I've been on my spiritual route for years, and that still is evident. Okay, everything can't be gained from books. Everything can't be gained from watching YouTube videos. Everything can't be gained from, just not applying yourself. Okay, the best experience is applied. Applied pressure, applied information that you have. Okay, this was Bobby Hemmitt though with the Kundalini rising, how to get it started, how to get it, if you wanna do that, and you know what I'm saying, you wanna have more power or have more understanding or higher consciousness, this is something that you may want to look into. But also do things like this with caution and protection. Okay. Well, then we come to the end of the video. I'll see y'all in the next one. 12/12 as we get done. I love y'all. Bye.